closing out the most distinguished career with over 26 years of dedicated service to our country and the United States Air Force. We're delighted to have members of Major McCutcheon's family and several special guests joining us today. Please hold your applause until everyone has been introduced. There is a special seat reserved in honor and memory of Major McCutcheon's mother, Berthina McCutcheon, her brother, Samuel McCutcheon, her aunt, Shirley McCullough, her dad, Staff Sergeant Retired Larry Tolles, her cousins, Carlton and Diane Austin, her pastor and co-pastor, James and Deborah Pitts, and Reverend Brenda Leith and Deacon David Leith. And the presentation of the colors by the Eglin Air Force Base Honor Guard, the singing of the national anthem by Tech Sergeant Sarita Hardy, and the invocation offered by Reverend Brenda Leith. Post the colors.
military life to civilian life. We pray your blessings over her as she enters this new chapter in her life. We pray your divine favor, that it will rest on her, Father, and that you will open doors of opportunity for her that only you can for her. We pray that as she leads not on her own understanding, but in all her ways she acknowledges you, and you will direct her path. As our Lord states in Matthew 25:23, we say to you, Major McCutcheon, you did well. You are a good and loyal servant. Because you were loyal with small things, I will let you care for much greater things. Come and share my joy with you. So, Father, bless all that we do here today, and we will be so mindful to give you all the praise, all the glory, and all the honor. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. We give thanks. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Thank you, Eglin Air Force Base Honor Guard, Tech Sergeant Hardy, National Anthem, and Reverend Lee for the invocation. It is my pleasure to introduce our presiding officer, Colonel Retired Lauren Hardy.
First off, I'd say thank you for that warm invocation. That's reflective of belief, of faith, and joy of church members here. And for those who are behind the scenes, that things like this just don't happen. So those who have done a lot of the work to get things started in place, much appreciated. To Colonel Miller, Colonel Grant, to each pastor, co-pastor, fifth, your congregation members, deacons who are here. I want to do a personal shout out because of technology. You will be hearing everything that you say. So Karen, wish you were here. Love you, and you will see this. Also, to our Aunt Shirley, who I met earlier, cousins Carlton and Diane, as well as her adopted dad, Papa Larry Toll, met him, friends and any relatives who I may have missed, her friends and her colleagues, and anybody who came for some street food later on. Welcome. Glad to see you all here. You know, Confucius says to be careful what you ask for. Several years ago, I was talking to T, and we were talking about retirement. And she said, "Hey, you know, sir, I think about that retirement ceremony. If I do, would you mind coming?" And I said, "Sure, T, I'll come." Well, fast forward about 5 years, she calls back and says, "You know, I think I'm going to do that. So you still going to come?" And yeah. She said, "Well, good, because you're going to preside over it." So I'm really glad to be here, but I'd much rather be in your seat. But regardless, I wouldn't miss it for the world. So here we go. Although it was a little bit rainy outside today, and I think it's sort of tapered off, this is still a good day to recognize the 26 and a half years of military service to Major Tamara McCutcheon, who I, as well as many of you, affectionately refer to as T. You know, the Air Force can't quite take all the credit for the many accomplishments that T has bestowed upon this great nation and to our Air Force. Many moons ago, back in the day, I can envision Mama Bertina, Buddy McCutcheon, who actually instilled a lot in T and inducted her into the Mama McCutcheon boot camp. And that kind of boot camp, I'm sure, instilled a lot of the discipline, a lot of the moral character, as well as the faith, the backbone of her belief. And what we've done in the Air Force, we've got a chance to see the maturation of that. And it's been great. And I'm going to try my best in the few minutes that I have to sort of talk about that. T does she personifies our Air Force core values, which are integrity, service before self, and of course, excellence in all you do. So what I'm going to try to do is highlight some of her career accomplishments and her commitment to excel. But first I'll say that what makes her really rare is that she really believed in pushing herself beyond her natural limits. She wanted to be her best. And to do your best, it hurts. There's some pain you go through. And it's evident that she pushed herself to the extent because she started as an E1 enlisted, which is our lowest rank you can come in the Air Force. And now she's topping out as a major in 04. So during that process, for your non-military family members, I want to be able to explain, we call it crossing over. That was a hard thing to do, and not many people can do that. I, for one, I wore stripes for a while, so I have an idea what that's like. But if you don't know, I want to stress upon you that was a really hard, difficult challenge to make, and only the best can successfully do that. Obviously, T is in those ranks and categories. So let me also say that reviewing me, sort of did a review of what I would say. It was 3 hours. Don't worry, Colonel Miller, I'm not going to keep you here 3 hours. So I took it and I sort of chopped it down to a reasonable amount of time to be able to highlight a few of the things. So what I'm going to attempt to do is reveal not only some of her highlights, but the essence of who she is. If you will, we're going to sort of read between the lines of some of the great things that she's accomplished, over nearly 3 decades. But what you're going to find out is that there's a common theme in her demeanor, and that is she really likes to help other people. She gets it, but she does this while she's executing the mission, and that's a hard balance to do, and very few people can do that. Also, if you know T, you know that she likes to be the one she does not like to be the one that you pat on the back and give the glory to and the accolades, which is why this is probably one of the most uncomfortable things for her to do is decide to have a ceremony. And I whispered to her earlier during the prayer, I said, girl, if you're crying now, it's going to be a long ceremony. Again, I would like to say that I would imagine that she got this type of humble personality from her mother. I did not get a chance to meet Tamara McCutcheon, but I've known T for nearly 10 years, and she has talked about her mother almost every time we engage in chatter. So I am quite sure that I can say that I know Mama McCutcheon vicariously through T and the way she behaves and her demeanor. So I'm sure that some of you can agree with me on that. The other thing I'll say is that when I say that T really gets it, she does her best. Her efforts remind me of one of my favorite books, and it's the book of Colossians, and it's in the third section, the 3rd chapter of that. And what it says is that whatsoever ye do it heartily as to the Lord, and not unto men, knowing that of the Lord ye serve, ye receive the reward of inheritance, for ye really serve the Lord. And so what I want to say is that you can tell that when she would go after these monumental type of missions and while helping others, there was a certain drive in her, and you can tell that it wasn't about herself, it was about her God, her Lord. And so she's done that in the time I've known her, and I'm sure those of you who've grown up with her and known her all her life, that's the essence of who she is. So I'll start off by saying, back in the day, Senior Airman McCutcheon was stationed at Barksdale Air Force Base, Louisiana. She was on the honor guard, and by being on honor guard, she volunteered to work and to be a part of over 170 funerals various detail retreats, and different types of ceremonies which go out to the community, and it sort of shows what the Air Force and what our military does to fallen comrades as well as others. And I want to tell you that this was off-duty time. So you got a two-striper here who's out doing things for the community. And I would link that easily to one of our core values in service before self, helping others. So she started out at a very, very young age in her career helping others. Then you fast forward a little bit, you go to Staff Sergeant McCutcheon. She went to Kunsan Air Base, Korea, and here what she did is she issued some of the classified pilot missions materials supporting over 200 flying missions. And she happened to do this during an inspection. And so the inspectors see things like that, and oops, there's an excellent operational readiness inspection, not for the squad, not for the group, but for the entire wing. So here, I would easily link this action to integrity, our first core value. Okay, you keep climbing, keep watching. Staff Sergeant McCutcheon at Barksdale Air Force Base, Louisiana, mentored and inspired 3 airmen to attain promotion of senior airman below the zone. Mind you now, she's only a stripe or 2 ahead of them, but she's reaching back to help someone else. That's the key, I know, helping others. Now here is where T made a monumental step. She noticed that, you know what, I'm liking this Air Force thing. This is all right. She knows T likes nice things. So she said, let me look at this pay stub, and let me look at the one if I go back to school and get my degree. I'll take this one. And so that motivated her to go back to school, get her degree, and she came in as lieutenant, which is a hard thing to do, because if she did this, she was a master sergeant. Master sergeant? Forgive me, officers. Lieutenant. And I say that because I did that. It's a different way of thinking. I've heard several NCOs tell me, look, man, I work for a living. But she was able to do that. And when she did that, she still was able to personify those core values. And she was able to make a difference. And people would look beyond the gold bar, you know, on her shoulder, the rank of second lieutenant, but they saw what was on the inside. And that's what caused her to continue to grow and develop in the rank. So, second lieutenant McCutcheon, she is now in Baghdad, Operation Enduring Freedom. Operation Iraqi Freedom. And she is now in charge of one of the postal elements there. And what is she doing? She's helping others. She had led the delivery of over 5 million pounds of mail to over 120,000 deployed troops. If you've ever been deployed, or if you've ever been away from home, this is before email, you know, and text, and phone. A piece of mail can get you through the day. A piece of mail can get you going when you think this may be my last time. So here you got the right person in charge of making sure people are getting their letters and their brownies and whatever else mom and them send when we are deployed. So again, helping others. Okay, promoted. First lieutenant, McCutcheon, Langley Air Force Base, Virginia. A big time, all the brass is. She led, developed, and designed the deployment of the integrated maintenance information systems for the F-22. Now that's one of our premier, at the time, our premier supersonic dual engine jet aircraft. You got T that is in place. And you know she is the queen of detail. Nothing goes undone without T. So here we can easily link this to excellence in all we do. Okay, climbing on up the rank structure. Captain McCutcheon. RAF, Royal Air Force Base, Mildenhall, England, which is where I got a chance to meet this wonderful person. She led a 99% uptime rate of all the airfield systems in Department of Defense's air refueling wing, which is a hub for all the aircraft who were flying overseas. Eventually you got to stop and get gas, right? Well, they would stop at Mildenhall, T's area. And she would make sure that all the airline systems were always up. 99.7% uptime rate. That means it's barely going down because you don't know who's going to go through there. By the way, let me tell you who stopped by there. The President of the United States stopped by there. And I was there. And we made sure, of course, T had things working then. And she did a great job there. She also was able to, instrumental in assisting the Vice President with some secure comm support. So once again, excellence in all she does. At the same time, you couple this with helping others, making sure that everyone who is flying over there can stop, get a little bit of gas, and keep going. You don't want to run out of gas in Europe, another place you need to go to. It was here that I can tell you that you always think about, this is the one I lost. She at that time was directed to come to my squadron, Colonel Grant. So I got her first. And I was excited because here I am getting a fast burner, prior service, first lieutenant who I knew was prior service enlisted. So I knew she was solid. And I need some leadership in my squadron. I got her, but before I got her, I did the wrong thing. Colonel Grant, I told my group commander I was getting a sharp guy, Carol, and guess what? She took her. So I had T for maybe a few weeks, and she said, hey sir, the group commander gonna get me. I said, T, I heard, but how did you know? Well, I get around, I was right here. So I get a phone call, and I said, yes ma'am, yes colonel, at the time I was lieutenant colonel. I said, yes ma'am, you can have T. And she became the group commander's exec, and once an executive officer who deals with all the IT and administrative support for the colonels and the generals, once you become good at that, attention to detail, what Mama McCutcheon taught her, people take you and they want to keep you. And so I lost T there. But the group gained a wonderful, wonderful professional, and not only the group, but the wing commanders. And wing commanders need sharp execs because that's how they make colonel and general and on up. And Major General Mike Stout, a good friend of mine, wrote some really, really good things about T and some of her OPRs, and I'll share a few. I can tell you that during this time, T was stratified, ranked among her peers, and the best of the best. A few of the straps read, my number 1 of 29. My number 1 of 19 peers, my number 3 of 44, and my number 1 of 48. So although Colonel Grant, I was hurt when I lost her, I was real glad when it came time to pushing out reports for my personnel and my own too, because if your report's not right, you don't get promoted. So I could call T and say, hey T, this is Harvey, help me out. And she would make sure that my report was in order. So again, taking care of others and helping others at the highest level. Now T becomes captain. She is now at the Defense Information Systems Agency in the DC area, where she led the Global Network Defense Project that was valued over $149 million. And here, she just did such a good job that this actually became the precursor for United States Cyber Command. At the time, Cyber Command hadn't stood up, and DISA was trying their best, to do that, to perform that function in a joint task force, JTF, and actually T was a part of that. Excellence in all she does. She also stayed at DISA, and she led the establishment of the criteria for the infrastructure of DISA's multi-million-dollar global grid command center, which is where all of the IT for the entire Department of Defense is monitored, and whenever anything breaks, we make sure that it's working. From the lowest airman, Sailor Marine, up to the President of the United States.
United States as Flight Commander. Plans and integration. 53rd Computer Systems Squadron, 53rd Test Management Group, 53rd Wing, Eglin Air Force Base, Florida. During this period, Major McCutcheon skillfully led the largest and most diverse flight within the squadron. Her leadership was instrumental in facilitating $15 million worth of upgrades to the Combat Air Force's premier advanced programs network, which enhanced access and availability for 7,000 users across 700 sites. She drove information assurance, set up for a classified Air Force, Navy, and Joint Strike Fighter video teleconference merger, which saved $7 million in temporary duty costs. Major McCutcheon oversaw 20 software development projects to ensure electronic warfare data delivery to 1,500 warfighters. She directed implementation of the Air Force mandated classified network public key infrastructure, which increased security by enforcing token logon for 764 53rd Wing users. Additionally, Major McCutcheon sustained network security by tracking over 2,900 vulnerabilities, mitigating 3 classified message incidents, and containing a high-level spill in less than 24 hours, which prevented the loss of $60 million in flight test data. This singularly distinctive accomplishments of Major McCutcheon culminate a distinguished career in the service for our country and reflect great credit upon herself and the United States Air Force. Please remain standing for the reading of the retirement order.
What's the order?
Department of the Air Force, Washington, D.C. Special Order AC 008781. Major Tamara D. McCutcheon, effective 31 December 2013. You are relieved from active duty, Eglin Air Force Base, retired, effective 1 January 2014, per AFI 36-3203 in grade of Major, by order of the Secretary of the Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Certificate of Retirement from the Armed Forces of the United States of America. To all who shall see these presents, greetings. This is to certify that Major Tamara D. McCutcheon, having served faithfully and honorably, is retired from the United States Air Force on the first day of January 2014. Signed, General Mark A. Welsh III, Chief of Staff. We will now present a certificate of appreciation for service in the Armed Forces of the United States of America from our Commander-in-Chief, President Barack Obama. Major Tamara D. McCutcheon, I extend to you my personal thanks and the sincere appreciation of a grateful nation for your contribution of honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of the nation during a critical time in its history with a devotion to duty and a spirit of sacrifice in keeping with the proud traditions of military service. Your commitment and dedication have been an inspiration for those who will follow in your footsteps, and for all Americans who join me today in saluting you for a job extremely well done. My best wishes to you for your happiness and success in the future. Signed, Barack Obama, Commander-in-Chief. I will now read a letter of appreciation from Colonel Grinkwich, 53rd Wing Commander.
I'm so sorry.
Dear Major McCutcheon, on the occasion of your retirement from the United States Air Force, I extend my deepest appreciation for your dedicated service to our great nation. For 26 years, the Air Force has benefited from your expertise, devotion, and wisdom. From your first assignment to your present position, you have faced some of life's toughest challenges, all the while serving your country with distinction. As your Air Force career comes to a close, you should take pride in knowing your exemplary efforts and unwavering professionalism contributed greatly to the success of the Air Force mission and protected the precious freedom enjoyed by our citizens and our allies. As you transition into civilian life, I am confident you will find new ways to continue your life of faithful service to your fellow man. On behalf of the men and women of the 53rd Wing, thank you for your service and congratulations on your well-deserved retirement. Sincerely, Colonel Alex Frinkwich, Commander, 53rd Wing. At this time, Major McCutcheon would like to ask her dad, Staff Sergeant Retired Larry Tolles, to replace the retirement pin on her lapel.
Woo! This is amazing. I'm gonna cry baby, you guys know now.
Thank you, Colonel Harkey and Mr. Tolles. The Honor Guard will now perform a flag-holding ceremony to honor Major McCutcheon and the service she has given to our country. This presentation pays tribute to the symbol that represents it.
For more than 200 years, the American flag has been the symbol of our nation's unity, as well as a source of pride and inspiration for millions of citizens. Born on June 14, 1777, the Second Continental Congress determined that the flag of the United States be 13 stripes, alternating between 7 red and 6 white, and that the Union be 13 stars, white in a blue field, representing a new constellation. Between 1777 and 1960, the shape and design of the flag evolved into the flag presented before you today. The 13 horizontal stripes represent the original 13 colonies, while the stars represent the 50 states of the Union. The colors of the flag are symbolic as well. Red symbolizes hardiness and valor. White signifies purity and innocence. And blue represents vigilance, perseverance, and justice. Traditionally, a symbol of liberty, the American flag has carried the message of freedom and inspired Americans, both at home and abroad. In 1814, Francis Scott Key was so moved at seeing the stars and stripes waving after the British shelling of Baltimore's Fort McHenry that he wrote the words to the Star-Spangled Banner. In 1892, the flag inspired Francis Bellamy to write the Pledge of Allegiance, our most famous flag salute and patriotic oath. In July 1969, the American flag was flown in space when Neil Armstrong planted it on the surface of the moon. Today, our flag flies on constellations of Air Force satellites that circle our globe, and on the thin flash of our aircraft in harm's way, in every corner of the world. Indeed, it flies in the heart of every airman who serves our great nation. The sun never sets on our U.S. Air Force, nor on the flag we so proudly cherish. Since 1776, no generation of Americans has been spared the responsibility of defending freedom. Today's airmen remain committed to preserving the freedom that others won for us, for generations to come. By displaying the flag and giving it a distinctive pull, we show respect to the flag and express our gratitude to those individuals who fought and continue to fight for freedom at home and abroad. Since the dawn of the 20th century, airmen have proudly flown the flag in every major conflict, on lands and skies around the world. It is their responsibility, our responsibility, to continue to protect and preserve the rights, privileges, and freedoms that we, as Americans, enjoy today. The United States flag represents who we are. It stands for the freedom we all share and the pride and patriotism we feel for our country. We cherish its legacy as a beacon of hope to one and all. Long may it wave.
The certificate accompanying the flag reads as follows. This is to certify that the accompanying flag was flown under the United States Capitol at the request of the Honorable Marco Rubio, United States Senator. This flag was flown on October 2nd, 2013, in honor of Major McCutcheon's mother, Berthina McCutcheon. Thank you for 26 years of honorable and dedicated military service and sacrifice to this great country of ours. Signed, Marco Rubio, United States Senator. And now we would like to invite some of the flights and squadrons that have gifts and presentations for Major McCutcheon's retirement. Our first presentation to Major McCutcheon is coming from the System Support Flight SCO, be given by Captain Miles McMullen.
I'll keep this very brief, but I would just like to thank you, man, very much. I think your passion, your faith will serve you very well in your life and certainly in your military career. Thank you very much, for everything you taught me in this short time. Thank you for your kindness that you've shown to those under you, and I wish you the best of luck as you continue on. Thank you very much, man.
Our next presentation will be from SEX, which will be a caricature which was drawn by Master Sergeant Brooks.
You couldn't leave without one, man. You know that.
I know.
I'll keep this short too, since I've known her a short time. But for 26 years of service, I think you definitely proven that you're a team player and that you rose above several occasions to work for everybody. So thought I'd capture a little bit of that.
presentation will be from SCX as well, from the Flight Chief, Master Sergeant Minor.
First, had to get you the globe, ma'am, because as LT Hale said, we all love globes, right? I think it also kind of shows that in the Air Force, we can pretty much go anywhere, right, ma'am? And we've been a lot of different places. Picking a gift for you was easy. Figuring out what to say was really difficult. And anybody that knows me, if I don't know what to say, there's something wrong, right? So I really thought about it, and I thought, should I talk about her mentorship and her leadership and how much it's meant to me since I've been here? And that's true. That's not really what I'm looking for. Okay, we keep thinking about it. How about how my career's come leaps and bounds under her mentorship and her leadership since I've been here? Also true. Not really what I'm looking for, though. I'm looking for some sort of word. And I was sitting with Miss Barbara Dearden in IA the other day. She said, you know, Sergeant Minor, she said, when you and the Major laugh together, you just sound so joyful. And I said, that's the word I'm looking for. And it's been joyful to serve with you. It's been joyful to know you, and it's been joyful to have you in my life, and I just feel very blessed to have you.
Our next presentation will be from her dad, Staff Sergeant Retired Larry Tolles, a shadow box.
Everything and even more than what I first met. And I'm so proud of you. I hope you so much.
At this time, the men and women of the 53rd Computer Systems Squadron would like to present this shadow box to Major McCutcheon in recognition of her service. This shadow box is a visual reflection of Major McCutcheon's 26+ years of honorable and dedicated service. It displays her progression through the ranks, her personal and unit achievements, the commands she has served in, the operations she supported, and much, much more.
I feel like a little kid up here. Snotty nose.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present to you Major Tamara D. McCutcheon, United States Air Force, retired.
And I'll say, first of all, to God be the glory. Amen. So, I am overwhelmed. Like Colonel Hardy said, I'm a social butterfly, but I hate being the center of attention. I don't like it. Really, no. So, it's very hard for me to be in these positions. I do not like being in the center of attention, but we all know, well, I know I'm here not because of me. I'm here because of all of you. These kind of situations, for me, is thank you to you. You know, I try to think about 26 years. I'm like, wow, what do I say? I'm supposed to say something profound and all that good stuff. You know, all my young LTs are looking for me to say some magic word, and that's not going to happen. I'm all about, like, oh, Colonel Hart, you are amazing. My speech will be 3 parts. I hate using notes, but I knew this was going to be emotional, so I'm sorry, I won't use notes. But my speech is going to wrap around thank yous, shout outs, and why I joined the Air Force. And please, if I miss anybody, I don't want us to be here all day. If I miss you, please charge it to the heart. That's what we say down in the country. It's not, you know, I love everybody here, okay? First of all, thank you to God. I already know that. Colonel Harkin, sir, you're amazing, you're a mentor, you're my inspiration. It's a blessing to work with you. I think you're the smoothest brother I know. I'm sorry I may get a little cross the line a little bit in military blaring. You're a prototype for the man that I hope God sends you. You captured everything I knew you would be the perfect person, and I am humbled that a man of your stature would take time out of your busy schedule to do this. And you're one of the few people that knows when he is having a hard day. I don't normally tell people when I'm struggling or when I fail a PT test. I failed a PT test and you were the first man I called. And you always give me the right advice, so I love you to life. You're a great man of God. Thank you so much. Colonel Grant, sir, thank you to you. I've only worked for you for 3 months. You're a homeboy. I was so happy when I saw it. I was like, yeah! And not to be, not politically correct, it warms my heart when I see people of color, women, advance. And I don't mean that this is everybody, we're all family, but it's good that the Air Force has been a great place. You have that opportunity, so it always warms my heart when I can have. I grew up in the flying world, and it's not trying to be funny. Sometimes you don't see people that look like you. When you do, and I have a boss, it just warms my heart, sir. I think you're very sharp, very smart man. I was trying to chill out. The man had me signing up for classes and everything. I was like, sir, I got 2 weeks left. He's like, but I appreciate it, sir. I think, really, I do. Really, I do. A lot of finance stuff that I want to get into, possibly, like Colonel said, I don't know where I want to go. I have so many interests, but the finance stuff, side of the house that I'm not familiar with, I learned a lot of that, and I appreciate you. I trust that you will go far, sir. Please, keep me on your invite list, and when you keep going on, I would love to be there. You know, just best wishes to you, so thank you. And thank you. A lot of people, I did not really want to have a ceremony because, and you were here, my mother is gone. This is almost 2-year anniversary of my mom's death, and that's why I didn't want to have one. But thank you to you, Colonel Grant. I said, no, you're going to have one. Colonel Grant said, no, you're going to have one. My brother, my Tweety, said, no, Tweety, you got to do it big. So I thank you. Marvel said, you got to have one. So thank you. Because this has truly been amazing. My pastors, co-pastor, the pastors out here, Reverend Lee, Deacon Lee, and my New Zion Tabernacle family. Thank God for your covering. I love you guys. I know I like to travel, so in the summertime I would not be at church. I'm sorry. But I would always get a text message, hey sis, Stacy. I would always get a message, sis, where you at? I'm sorry. But I love you guys tonight, and I will be at church on Sunday. The planning proved Sergeant Minor, your baby cry, would beat you up. But really, everybody that planned this is something that came up in 2 weeks. Because I was like, I don't want to do anything. And then I said, okay, I'm going to do it. And they kept saying, ma'am, give me this, I need this. And I was like, So Sergeant Minor can put this together. Please make sure you give me a list of everybody that helped. From, I don't care what they did, I need a list. Sergeant Munn's not here. She's checking out her baby to see what kind of baby she's having. But she put together the program for me. Like I said, it was my fault. I was last minute. I gave her something like on Friday, and she came up with something. I said, I love it. And I'm tired of everybody picking at my Iraq chick, because I was and everybody's like, yeah, whatever. J-Rock, Janet, my girl, she did that shadow box. You need to start your own business. It's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. I love you, J-Rock. She was one of the first people I talked to when I called. When I had to call, I was home. My mom was, I'm sorry, my mom was my heart. Ever since I was a little girl, I had to protect my mom and took care of her. She was very sick. So I was home. But J-Rock was the first person I talked to, and I said, hey, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be at work, but my mom passed. Colonel Baxter was awesome. And they were like, cool, no problem. And that's why I have no leave, because I ended up just taking about 40 days leave. That's why I'm here. But anyways, J-Rock, I love you. This is a Barksdale reunion, Sarita. That version was awesome. I didn't know you had such an instrument. I love you. We go way back. She's I used to be a 1 Charlie, 271 of you nasty for the old people. So thank you. We caught up on Facebook. I knew she was coming here. We always talk on Facebook. She's a talented sister. She could sing, she writes poetry, and we hadn't linked up here yet, but I said, and when I said, hey, I don't know if you're coming to my ceremony, can you do the anthem? Because my friend Eddie, everybody from Barcelona, he said, yeah, she can sing. I said, look, I don't want no ghetto version. I said, look, I want to do professional. And that was beautiful. It was beautiful. I made Johnson out of military very today. I'm sorry. Honor Guard, they're not here. But kudos to the Honor Guard. I did Honor Guard for 4 years, and it's such a moving thing to do funerals. In events like this, it puts the added touch. And Honor Guard names, I need those too. I have something for everybody. Alice Malcolm, Alice, where you at? My girl, this is a Barksdale reunion. Retired, that's the smoothest sister you want to know. Stylish. We go way back to being NCOs together. Got here. Oh, she's just 12, 55 or whatever, over on Herbert. And lo and behold, her and her friend have a business. And I said, hey, can you hook the sister up? She said, girl, be there. I said, I don't know if you're coming, so I love you, girl. You know we're going to get together after this. Finally, all these people, we hook up on Facebook, and we got to get together, and we never do. So I'm glad to get together today. All other experts, anybody that has anything to do with this, sent an email, helping out. I got grub back, whatever you did, I appreciate it. Lieutenant Igman, I need you to come over here. So I'm gonna mess with Lieutenant, right? He's always dogging me out. When we got here, we had a dining out. He dogged me out in the dining out. I said, okay, that's cool. I tried to get him to come to my flight for the longest. Oh, no, I don't want to come over here. I was like, okay, that's cool. Then I heard he was talking about my pictures, talking about, oh my God, I can't believe she's been around since '87. When were you born?
I was born in '88, man.
Oh. Sir, can you come out with my LTs? They don't, well, LT works with me. And I don't know, he's supposed to be deploying. I don't know if he actually helped out with this or he didn't want to help out. I don't know. Look. When they start looking like this, I said, oh God, every day I'm like, it's time for me to get out. But I'm upset because I had a coin. And I'm sorry because I was around talking. I have a coin for you guys, and I definitely went. It's a commemorative, it's kind of corny, but it's an Air Force coin. But on the back of it, it has, and I obviously grabbed the wrong coins, but I will give them to you. But it just says to commemorate my retirement, and I was going to present it to them, but I screwed up, and you wouldn't have known that if I didn't say it, but I will give those to you. But that's good, thank you. I love my LTs, but I will get the coins to you. All right, so to my family. Virtual shout out to my sister Karen. She couldn't be here. I hope it's being recorded. I love you to life, girl. That's my prayer partner, that's my girl. She couldn't be here, she wanted to be. Shout out to her kids, Michelle, Belle, my niece, beautiful 23-year-old girl. I'm trying to get in the Air Force, but she don't want to do it. My nephews, Darius, Terrence, Jalen. It's more important for them to be in school. I didn't want her to take off time for that. Marcy and Stephanie, my brother's kids. Well, Marcy and Cam, my brother's kids. Stephanie and Kiki, their family. More important for the kids to be in school. I love y'all. My cousins called me Diane. It's awesome. I'm sorry, I'm going to speed this up. Just awesome. We reconnected. I just attended his oldest daughter's wedding. It's beautiful. I'm so glad they came from my Penon and you're here now. Just glad it's on my dad's side of the family, so it's just awesome. Awesome. I love you guys. My Aunt Shank, Aunt Shirley. This is my girl. I sent out a blast. Like I said, I was just last minute with all my stuff, and I was like, okay, so I sent out an email blast and said, hey guys, don't expect, it's going into the holidays. I don't expect you to spend money, blah, blah, blah. And, we were on Facebook again, and Shank's like, what is all this stuff you're talking about? Because on Facebook, I was doing a visual countdown of my career. So she said, what are you doing? I said, I'm having a ceremony. This was last Friday. And she said, what? I want to come. I did a quick Google. I said, Auntie, those tickets are like $700, $800. Don't worry about it. She said, girl, don't worry about it. I'm going to get on Hotwire. This is my mother's baby brother's wife. I love him like, I got something for you. Nothing big. Mama loved you. And I'm so glad that you came. You always represent. She loved the shop. I don't. So somebody please help me out for tomorrow. Oh man, my dad, and to honor my father is in the nursing home. My mom was married, and I've been her mom. But my dad, we worked together way when I was a young airman, and I don't know if he just thought anytime some little young guy was trying to talk to me or whatever, he just adopted me and ran everybody away. I don't know. And now I'm a hot cougar still looking for thank you or what? This is very small. Another thing, I was being all late. He said, go find your shadow box that you want. It's just amazing because everything came in like the day before. And they're going to match that. It was me just being late, but I love you. This is such a small thing. It's just a frame, and we're going to have some awesome pictures today. I love you. That's all I say. I'm sorry. Oh man, my brother. Man, Sam. That's what we call each other Tweezies. We act just alike. He's 10 years younger than me. I don't know. That's my Tweezy. Now, what am I going to give my Tweezy? Well, I gave my Tweezy my Firebird. Now, my Firebird is an old school car, but I love, you know me, I love my Firebird. It's old school, black, T-tops. So I gave it to him now. So check this out. It was a long story. 2005, we're down at biking. I had a motorcycle. We had the Firebird. So we were taking turns. I said, okay, you take the bike. So he took my motorcycle and came back and was wrecked. I said, what did you do with my motorcycle? Oh, this. So we swapped out. Came back with the Firebird. The Firebird was dented. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to ever fix this. I said, I'm not going to fix this Firebird. You're going to fix it. So I figured 8 years later, it's never fixed anyway. So I decided to go ahead and give it to him. Even though he doesn't even need a car. So I love you, Tweezy. I love you, Tweezy. And great man, brilliant mind. I'm not going to stop. You know what I want you to do. Brilliant mind. Very brilliant, one of the most brilliant men I know. You're an awesome father to your children. Karen, I love you. He took care of my mother. He was there for her. Great man of God. Now, shout outs going to go a lot quicker. I'm sorry, I need a time hat. Please, I can't get everybody. Michael Merriweather, Barstow, my very first troop. Now he's technical sergeant. He's here. We followed each other. We were in Europe together. Awesome guy, awesome dad. Awesome dad. taught me how to be a supervisor. Love you, Mike. Love you. Miss James, my girl, I'm calling you out. But that was my sounding board at work. We always taught Miss James. She loved to watch out for everybody. This is a mentoring point. Don't ever get on the wrong side of front office people.
I know that's right.
So that's a mentoring point. Mickey and Ronnie, some of the hardest working and some of the smartest guys I ever worked with. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Y'all not gonna get rid of me. Because whenever I decide to get a job, I'm gonna be calling you. My girls, Rhonda, Sue, they retired. I'm trying to see how happy they look. I actually did both of their retirements. We go way back to Barstow. I love you guys, and I'm so glad that you let me be a part of your day. And I'm so elated that you came to be here. I love you guys a lot. Oh my God. Karen, right? My girl Karen, I haven't seen her in 15 years. She called me the other night and said, I'm coming to your retirement. Love you, girl. I can't wait to get back to the house. Greg, you gotta stand up. Greg, retired Marine. I'm making him stand up because we went to high school together 26 years ago. We hadn't seen each other in 26 years until a couple months ago at our class reunion. And he called and he said, I'm coming to your retirement. And he says, he's a Marine, but he said, hey, I like y'all Air Force people. So thank you for being here. Can't wait to get back to the house. My boy Reggie, where did he go? Reggie, go back to Barcel, back to dorm days when I was like, I think I'm gonna try this officer thing. Retired Master Sergeant, he came with me to PT. I'm proud of you. He got out, he loaded bombs all his life in the military. But he was actually smart, got out, and now he's a registered nurse with the VA. And my boy Rock, we were in Korea together, and he always had my back. Those are the shout outs. Tom Hack, I'm almost done. Why did I come to the Air Force? And Colonel Hart, you're so awesome. I won't say anything profound, but I am the only person that you could ever say brought her senior high school book to her retirement ceremony. And it's so funny, something that Colonel Hart said. Wow. I gotta find it. I'm sorry, guys. Allow me to share one of the most sincere notes I've ever received in my life. To my dear daughter, this is the time that you make the decision of what you want to do in life. Whatever way you go, always put God first, and success will be yours. I want you to know that I will be praying for you. Always remember that I love you in every way that a mother can love a child. You can always count on me to be there for you. As you go out in life, always remember to have respect for yourself. Success is yours, so be chill. Colonel Hardy said be chill, so I said Mom is here. Why did he choose that word? I said Mom is here. So be chill, take care. Your mother, Bertina McCutcheon. So with those words, keep God first, pray, and have respect for yourself. I showed up to Lackland Air Force Base as an 18-year-old, naive young lady from country girl. Did not know what I was doing, did not know that I was embarking on a 26-year amazing career. I've had the opportunity to serve in every capacity in the Air Force. For that, I thank God. I thank each one of you, and with me, it is never, never, ever goodbye. It is only see you later. And this has been an amazing day, and I pray prosperity in your lives. Thank you.
Leads us in singing the Air Force song.
I knew he was going to give me.
Ladies and gentlemen, please come forward to congratulate Major McCutcheon, retired. Thank you and have a great Air Force Day. Refreshments and food for everyone.
Oh, thanks, girl. I will. All right, y'all. Oh no, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Yeah, I know. I was just crying. I knew. Hey, I'm sorry. I was trying to try Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. I got something for you. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. What up, T? You better be glad I didn't see you. I would have gave a shout out to my basketball coach.
Staying around here?
Thank you so much. Pleasure. Oh, no. I thought